and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so excited to have you. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. You guys, I appreciate you more than you know. Today I'm actually collaborating with 4 other wonderful teachers here on YouTube to do the teacher tag that was originally done by Genuine Teaching and Apples and Tiaras, and I'll make sure to put the link to their video down below in the description box. This collaboration is actually going to be a video hop, so if you're familiar with maybe blog hopping from blog to blog and checking out different blogs, this is the same concept, only you are checking out other teachers' channels here on YouTube. That way you can discover other teachers and get some great ideas from them as well. We are also doing a giveaway for some teacher resources as well as a Teachers Pay Teachers gift card, so make sure you watch until the end. So as I said, these questions were originally done by Genuine Teaching and Apples and Tiaras. They did a collaboration together for this teacher tag, and now I'm going to use the same questions that they used in their video to answer them for you guys. So let's get started. So I am currently in my 4th year of teaching, and I'll get into that in just a moment, but let's take it back a few years. I went to college at Florida State University, go Noles, and while I was there, I completed my bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and I got that in 2012, and I continued and received my master's degree in 2013. What I did was a 3+2 program, so basically you do your 3 years of, I guess, undergraduate kind of combined with 2 years of master's. So I actually received my bachelor's degree in early childhood education in 2012, and then I received my master's degree in curriculum and instruction in 2013. While I was in school, I did a 1.5-year practicum/internship in a kindergarten classroom at a local Title I school. Once I finished my internship, I became a substitute teacher, and my first sub job was actually a long-term position at the school that I had interned at for another kindergarten teacher who was on maternity leave. So it actually worked out great. My mentor was there with me to answer any questions that I had. It actually worked out perfectly. So I would say that if you haven't been a substitute teacher and you're looking to go into the teaching profession, try to be a sub first, because I can't tell you how much I learned during that long-term sub position before I actually jumped into my own classroom. While I was substituting, I was also studying for my Florida Teacher Certification exam, and I was also working at Florida State University's College of Education as a graduate assistant. So I had a lot going on at this time in my life. It was very busy, but I also believe that I got a lot of experience in the field by doing all of these things at once, and I had a lot of people supporting me along the way. I did have the opportunity to sub in grades pre-K through 5th, and that's kind of where I realized that I wanted to stay 3rd grade and under. In Florida, you actually have to take 2 different tests. One is the professional knowledge exam, and the other one is your content area exam. So for me, that was pre-K through 3rd grade. I also had an ESOL endorsement, which really, I think, helped me to get my first job. So in July of 2013, I was actually hired at a local elementary school in Florida, and I taught kindergarten there for my first 3 years of teaching. That was the most wonderful experience ever. Ever. I mean, I could not have picked a better school to start my teaching experience at. Everyone was so supportive. I had an awesome team. The principal was willing to listen and work with me if I had any questions or concerns or anything like that. I currently teach 3rd grade, and I've only been with these students for a little over a month, but you know what? It has been such a rewarding and eye-opening experience. I mean, the last school that I was at was absolutely wonderful. It was a blue ribbon school, A+ school. It was awesome. Everyone was absolutely wonderful. The parents were involved. It was great. This school that I'm at now is actually a Title I school, and 98% of my students are living in poverty. It is a community school, so they have a clinic there. They have a public library at our school. Our media center actually turns into a public library. So it's just a lot different, but wow. I can't tell you how rewarding it is to work with different kinds of students from different backgrounds. It's amazing. We also have a large Native American culture here, and it is so incredible to just get to know these kids. And for me as a teacher, I'm learning about a new culture, a new group of people, and the kids are teaching me. So not only am I there for them, but they are also there for me. So far, teaching 3rd grade has been way more than what I could have ever dreamed it would be. I thought I was a primary girl, forever. I never thought I would actually end up in 3rd grade, but this has been amazing. So I really prefer not to say exactly where I teach, but I will say that I'm up north and I'm kind of in the Midwest area of the United States. This particular state does not accept Florida teaching certificates, which I thought it did and I was hoping that it did, but it doesn't. So right now I'm actually in the process of getting my certificate for this particular state. But because I did teach in Florida for 3 years prior to living here, they are actually waiving one of the portions of the test. Now, since we do have a large number of Native Americans here in our city and state, I actually have to take an extra humanities course and a Native American course, which I'm actually really looking forward to just because, again, it will give me that background, that culture. I really think it'll take my teaching here to the next level. We are the Mighty Mustangs, same as my elementary school when I was little. And there was something else that was the same. When I walked into the school for the very first time, I was so excited. And gosh, I'm such a nerd. I've wanted to be a teacher my whole life, but I was a super student and teacher's pet and all of those things. But when I walked into the school, I saw all of these posters in the hallway, big posters with big pillars, and it said, pillars of character, character counts. This is something that we had at my elementary school when I was little, and it brought back so many memories for me. And to share them with you, I actually remember the song that goes with it from when I was like 7 years old. It goes like this. Respect, responsibility, fairness and caring, trustworthiness and citizenship. So all of those are the pillars of character, and I can't believe I actually remember all of those. But when I saw those posters around my school, I was like, yay, same mascot, Mighty Mustangs, and same pillars of character for the Character Counts program. So when I started with these boys and girls in the classroom in the middle of November, I started out with 27 students. We are now down to 25. So I do miss those kids, but what I have found out about this school is that a lot of those students tend to come into the city for a little while and then they end up going back to the reservation to spend time with their families. So my numbers may change again throughout the school year. I'll have to keep you guys posted. My ideal class size would be 18 to 20 students. The most I have ever had before this year was 20 students. I would ideally like half of them to be boys and half of them to be girls. One thing that I was able to do in Florida, because I did only have 20 students or less, is I was able to meet with my guided reading groups and all of my students every single day. Now that I have more children, it is really hard to meet with every single student every single day, whether it's in guided reading groups, math groups, or just conferencing with that student. I actually have two. One is a little bit more complicated than the other. I will start with the easier one first. So my favorite cold drink from Starbucks would actually have to be a venti green iced tea with no sweetener because that syrup is just so sweet. I don't care for it that much. So I usually get it unsweet and then just add in like one sweet and low. That way it's 0 calories and it's not too sweet. I can't handle so much sweetness. I'm more of like a salty, toned down kind of girl when it comes to that, unless it's chocolate. If it's chocolate, then that's another story. But for my green tea, I like it just plain, pretty much. My favorite hot drink at Starbucks is a little more complicated, and my hubby actually gets it right now. The first couple of times it took him a little bit, but he does know what I enjoy from Starbucks. It is a grande, skinny, soy, cinnamon dolce latte with an extra shot of espresso. So 6 things to remember on that. I do always get skinny no matter what drink I order because it's sugar-free, and I do usually get soy milk. Soy milk does tend to make the drinks a little bit sweeter, but I don't do dairy, so that is why I choose soy milk. And Starbucks actually has almond milk now, so I'll probably start getting that from now on. And of course, just like probably every other teacher on YouTube, I have to say teachers pay teachers. I seriously have so many things from teachers pay teachers, it's not even funny. So for those of you that have teachers pay teachers, we need to be like best friends. So you guys rock. I do want to add a second one to this though, and it is called teachingchannel.org. This is a website that has a lot of great videos for teachers. It is focused more on instructional practices or why certain things are important. So if you are a new teacher or beginning teacher, or maybe you're just thinking about going into the field of teaching, check out teachingchannel.org. There's a ton of videos on there that can be super helpful. Dreaming. So for starters, my perfect classroom has to be cozy and like homey and warm. I think that any classroom is kind of a home away from home, not just for you as the teacher, but especially for the kids. They spend so much time in that classroom, it literally is like their home away from home. So I like to make my classroom feel cozy and homey. Any classroom should be a calm and focused learning environment for students, and one way to do that is just to create that homey feel. For example, I love using lots of natural light. We have this ginormous window in our classroom, and I absolutely love it. It brings a lot of natural light into our classroom. Also, any kind of lamps or nice warm lighting provides a lot of comfort for the students as well. Plants are awesome as well. I do not have a green thumb, so a lot of my plants usually tend to not make it for very long. So if you are like me, maybe get some fake plants just to kind of put around your classroom that look real but aren't, so that you can kind of still create that vibe that you're going for without having to water your plants every day. I also really love some other seating options like bean bags or comfy chairs or benches, anything that they can sit on that's not their typical student chair. Ideally, I would love to have flexible seating like some of the tables lowered. However, when I first stepped into this third grade classroom, some of the tables were lowered and they were in clusters, which is awesome. It creates that sense of community. However, this did not work out for my particular class, at least not at this point in the year. They have had so many teachers and substitutes in and out that there just wasn't any consistency. And luckily, they are starting to get the flow of everything now that I've been with them for a little over a month. So I may do that again towards the end of the year, but as of right now, they just need to stay where they're at, and I know that they can kind of focus with how the desks are set up right now. I will include some of these things in my classroom tour video. I meant to get it up for you guys already, but oh my goodness, with Christmas and all kinds of parties and things going on at school, it has just been so crazy busy and I haven't had a chance to do that. I was also getting a cold, which I hardly ever get, so that kind of knocked me down for a little bit. So I'm sorry about that. I will get that to you guys very, very soon. My favorite part about teaching is just getting to know the kids. I can't tell you how many laughs and giggles and smiles they give me every single day. Sometimes as teachers, we get kind of caught up in that academic piece, that testing piece, and we almost forget to kind of build those relationships with our students. That is so important. When I first jumped into this third grade classroom, I made it a point to start building those relationships with those kids immediately, because I knew that if I did not establish a good relationship with those students from the beginning, no learning would take place. For those first 2 weeks, my focus was getting to know my kids. We created all about me posters. We did some classroom community things. I told them stories about when I lived in Florida, and they just really enjoyed it. So once that relationship was established, I was able to kind of move into that academic piece of it and really get that content learning going. Also, just a quick little fun fact, my kindergartners from last year were actually in my wedding. We had built such positive relationships, and I got to know the kids and their families so well that the parents actually agreed to let them be in our wedding, and it was so much fun. They did a little performance. It was like, L is for the way you look at me, the Love song by Nat King Cole. They performed that and it was the best. I had a little saxophone player, pretend saxophone player. Just remember to build those relationships with your students. That is just my favorite part. I love it so much. I would have to say that my least favorite part about teaching would probably be all of the paperwork. Especially as a first year teacher. Oh my goodness, like I had papers coming out of nowhere that I had no idea what to do with. If you are going into the teaching profession right now, like halt for a moment. You need a paper organization system of some kind before you jump into the classroom. I can't even tell you how long it took me to go through and file papers and put them in binders and everything, because I hadn't done that or planned for that ahead of time. So I would say the least favorite part about teaching for me is all of the paperwork you have to keep. And a lot of it's necessary, but you have to keep data on the students, you have papers to grade, you have things to file, you have things to copy, you have notes from other teachers, you have calendar things and duties and all kinds of stuff that you have to keep track of. So if you are about to go into the teaching profession for the first time, please, please, please get some little paper trays or binders or a filing system of some sort. So as soon as you get those papers during your first week of teaching, or actually even before during pre-planning week, you will have a place to put them right away and you won't lose anything and it won't become overwhelming, because that's what it did become for me my first year. I have since learned to go ahead and organize immediately from the beginning so that I don't get overwhelmed and I can put all of my focus onto my kiddos. So I have a ton of things that I could share with new teachers or beginning teachers, but my absolute number one piece of advice would have to be to write down 3 positive things every day. Make this your focus because I promise you, your first year is probably going to be tough. It usually is. It's one of those years where it's like it either makes you or it breaks you. There are gonna be some days where you're just like, what am I doing? You're like pulling your hair out, you want a glass of wine, and it gets really crazy sometimes. But then there are those days where you're like, wow, I just made a difference today. That child just read that book to me and they didn't even know how to write their name when they came into the classroom for the very first time. Like, it's so rewarding. So focus on those positive things, even on the days that are not very good. Read the book Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I mean, there are so many things that can go wrong, but focus on what goes right. What went right today? Did you maybe see a student do a math problem, solve it, and show their work where they weren't able to do that before? Think of those positive things. And yeah, teaching is tough, but you are making a difference. You are seriously making a difference. And it might be exhausting for you at times, but really, if you are gonna do it big. That's my philosophy. I mean, whether it's teaching or what have you, if you're gonna do something, do it with all of your heart. What's that quote? Whatever you are, be a good one. That's my advice to you. So like this year, I'm not just a teacher. I'm a counselor, I'm a parent, I'm a mentor, I am so many more things, and yeah, it's tough. But find those positives. I find 3 positive things every day that drive me and that motivate me to keep making a difference and keep making it and keep making it, no matter how tough it may get. That is what I'm here to do. And if there's something that you need help with, or if you have any questions, there are always people willing to help you. Ask your teammates, ask me, ask the other teachers here on YouTube. We all have different experiences and we all have different things to share. So please ask. Please ask for help. Please ask questions. That's what we're here for. All right, guys, thank you so much. And really quick before you leave, let's talk about this giveaway. Who likes free stuff? I know I do. For this giveaway, there will be one winner chosen for a TPT gift card as well as some free teacher resources. The giveaway closes at 11:59 p.m. Central Time on January the 4th. And here's what you have to do to enter to win. Number 1, you need to go ahead and click the link in my description box that leads you to the next video. And you have to hop to each teacher's teacher tag video and subscribe to their channel. When you get to the last video, video number 5, there are 5 of us, you will need to comment "enter me" in the comment section. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss any future videos. Thanks and see you soon. Bye.